In the heart of the Mediterranean, on the island of Corsica, the story of an extraordinary man begins. A man of humble beginnings, born into a family of minor Corsican nobility, but destined for the grandeur of history. His name? Napoleon Bonaparte. As a child, Napoleon was small and often sickly. He was teased by his peers and overlooked by his elders. But what he lacked in physical strength he made up for with a fierce intellect and an iron will. He was an avid reader, devouring books on history, philosophy, and the military arts. Even then, the seeds of ambition were sown. Corsica, a land of rugged beauty and a hotbed of political turmoil, was the perfect crucible for a young mind. It was here that Napoleon first encountered the radical ideas that would later shape his life and the course of world history. The French Revolution, with its promise of liberty, equality, and fraternity, was a beacon of hope for the young Bonaparte. Yet the revolution was also a time of great upheaval and violence. As the old order crumbled, new opportunities arose. Napoleon, a mere artillery officer, seized these opportunities with both hands. He understood that in times of chaos, fortune prevails the bold. In these formative years, a spark ignited within the young Bonaparte, a spark that would set the world ablaze. As we delve deeper into his life, we'll witness the rise of a military genius, the creation of an empire, and the legacy of a legend. But for now, let's return to that small island in the Mediterranean, where a young boy with dreams bigger than himself is about to embark on an epic journey. A journey marked by triumph and tragedy, victory and defeat, glory and humiliation. A journey that would forever change the face of the world. This is the birth of a legend. This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte. Propelled by the winds of revolution, Napoleon ascended through the ranks of the French military. A man of audacious ambition and tactical genius, he carved a path of victory that led him straight to the helm of power. Napoleon's earliest military victories were in Italy, where his innovative strategies left the Austrian armies in disarray. His triumphs were not just about conquest, but also about spreading the revolutionary ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Napoleon was not merely a conqueror, he was a harbinger of change. His ambitions then took him to Egypt, a daring campaign intended to disrupt British trade routes. Though the Egyptian campaign was fraught with challenges, it was during this time that the Rosetta Stone was discovered, a key that unlocked the mysteries of ancient Egypt. Even in adversity, Napoleon had a knack for leaving a lasting legacy. But the real game-changer came in the year 1799. France was in political turmoil, and Napoleon seized the moment. In a swift and audacious coup, he overthrew the Directory, the governing body of France, and replaced it with a new political structure, the consulate. And who was at the head of this new government? None other than Napoleon himself. With the reins of France firmly in his grasp, Napoleon was poised to reshape Europe. His rise to power was a testament to his strategic brilliance and unyielding determination. But as he stood on the precipice of his reign, little did he know the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. Napoleon's story is a whirlwind of ambition, power, and revolution. It's a tale of a man who rose from obscurity to command an empire, only to fall from grace and be exiled to a lonely island. But through it all, his legacy endures, a testament to his indomitable spirit and enduring influence. So, as we delve deeper into the life and times of Napoleon Bonaparte, remember this: history is not just about dates and events. It's about the people who shape it, the decisions they make, and the legacy they leave behind. And few have left a legacy as profound and as enduring as Napoleon Bonaparte. As emperor, Napoleon embarked on a series of conflicts that would come to define his reign, the Napoleonic Wars. This monumental period of strife, spanning from 1803 to 1815, was a testament to his military genius and the power of his French Empire. The first significant victory was the Battle of Austerlitz, also known as the Battle of the Three Emperors. Here, Napoleon's strategic brilliance shone. He tricked the combined forces of Russia and Austria into a battle they thought they could win, only to spring a trap that led to a crushing defeat for the enemy. This victory solidified Napoleon's status as a master tactician and a formidable force on the battlefield. But Napoleon was not just a one-hit wonder. His military campaigns stretched across Europe, reaching as far as Moscow. He won battle after battle, spreading his revolutionary ideals and reshaping the continent under his rule. His victories were not just mere conquests, but strategic moves in a grand chess game. Yet, even amidst his triumphs, there were losses. The Battle of Waterloo, a name that echoes through history as a symbol of downfall. Here, Napoleon met his match in the Duke of Wellington, leading to his ultimate defeat. The once invincible Titan met his match, and the Napoleonic Wars drew to a close. These wars were not just about territorial gains or military prowess. They were a manifestation of Napoleon's vision for a unified Europe under French leadership. His revolutionary ideas, his legal reforms, all were spread across the continent through these wars. It was a time of great change, and Napoleon was at the helm of it all. Napoleon's military prowess was a spectacle to behold, yet even titans stumble. The Napoleonic Wars, while showcasing his genius, also marked the beginning of his end. These battles, these victories and defeats, they all played a part in the rise and fall of one of history's most iconic figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. The ill-fated Russian campaign marked the beginning of the end for Napoleon. As the French forces marched into Russia in the summer of 1812, little did they know the harsh winter that awaited them. The Russian strategy of scorched earth, where they burnt their own lands to deprive the French forces of resources, proved devastating. Napoleon's Grande Armée, once a force of over 500,000 strong, dwindled to a mere fraction of its initial size. The retreat from Moscow was a cruel blow to Napoleon's prestige. Following this catastrophic campaign, the tide turned against Napoleon. His enemies, sensing weakness, banded together in a coalition. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, Napoleon was forced to abdicate in April of 1814. Exiled to the Mediterranean island of Elba, it seemed as though Napoleon's star had finally fallen. But the man who had once crowned himself emperor was not so easily subdued. Less than a year later, Napoleon escaped from Elba and returned to France, where he was greeted with jubilation. This period, known as the 100 Days, saw Napoleon back in power. Yet his return was short-lived. At the Battle of Waterloo in June of 1815, Napoleon suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of the Allied forces led by the Duke of Wellington. Banished to the remote island of St. Helena, far out in the South Atlantic, Napoleon's rule had come to an end. His ambition had led him from the heights of power to the depths of defeat. Yet, even in exile, Napoleon remained a figure of fascination. His fall from grace serves as a stark reminder of the transient nature of power and the cost of overreach. But as we shall see, the man behind the legend was far more than just a military leader. His story, like his legacy, is a rich tapestry woven with threads of triumph and tragedy, ambition and downfall, revolution and empire. But who was the man behind the legend? Meet Napoleon Bonaparte, a figure cloaked in layers of myth and reality. A man of contrasts as intriguing as the era he dominated. Beyond the battlefield, he was a man of many facets, some of which often remain unexplored in our collective understanding of his legacy. Napoleon was a voracious reader, devouring books on history, geography, and military strategy. His intellectual curiosity was not limited to fields that directly benefited his military pursuits, though. He also had a deep appreciation for literature and the arts, commissioning numerous works during his reign. And here's a little nugget that might surprise you. Napoleon was also a writer. Yes, you heard that right. Amidst his conquests and administrative duties, he found time to pen a romance novel titled Clisson et Eugénie. Though it wasn't a bestseller, it certainly adds a softer shade to his stern military persona. Speaking of shades, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the myth that's towered over Napoleon's legacy for centuries. Contrary to popular belief, Napoleon was not short. Standing at 5 feet 7 inches, he was actually above average height for a Frenchman of his time. The misconception likely stems from a miscalculation between English and French units of measurement. But perhaps one of the most compelling aspects of Napoleon's character was his unwavering self-belief. Whether it was his audacious plans on the battlefield or his ambitious reforms in France, Napoleon was a man who dared to dream big and had the tenacity to turn those dreams into reality. So as we pull back the layers, we find that Napoleon was not just a military titan, but a man of intellect, a lover of arts, an author, and above all, a dreamer. His life serves as a potent reminder that individuals are not just the sum of their achievements or failures, but a complex mosaic of interests, passions, and quirks. Napoleon Bonaparte, a man of contrasts, as complex and intriguing as the era he dominated. Napoleon's life was a tapestry of triumph and tragedy, and his legacy is just as complex. This complex figure, who rose from obscurity to command an empire, left an indelible mark on the world, and his influence is still felt today. Napoleon's reign was a time of unprecedented legal and administrative reform. He spearheaded the creation of the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal framework that continues to form the basis of many civil law systems around the globe. This was no small feat. It was a revolutionary document that emphasized legal equality and protection of property rights, and it continues to shape how we think about law and justice today. But Napoleon's impact was not limited to the legal sphere. His influence on military strategy cannot be overstated. The Napoleonic tactics of rapid movement, concentration of force, and aggressive attack transformed the way wars were fought. His innovative use of artillery and the formation of the Grande Armée, a large standing army, set the stage for modern military organization. Yet, it's important to remember that Napoleon's reign was not without its dark side. He was a ruthless dictator, and his wars of conquest resulted in millions of deaths across Europe. His failed invasion of Russia was a disaster of epic proportions, leading to untold suffering and loss. And let's not forget his role in re-establishing slavery in the French colonies, a decision that continues to cast a long shadow over his legacy. Indeed, for all his achievements, it's clear that Napoleon's rule was a double-edged sword. Napoleon Bonaparte, a man of ambition, a man of revolution, a man of empire. His story is a testament to the power of human will and the fickleness of fortune. His life, marked by spectacular rise and fall, continues to fascinate us, even 2 centuries later. Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who forever altered the course of history. As we close this chapter, we're left to ponder the enigma that is Napoleon Bonaparte. A man of humble beginnings who rose to become an emperor, a military genius who shaped the course of history. We've journeyed through the winds of the French Revolution that fueled his rise to power, witnessed his early victories and daring campaigns, and watched as he navigated through the tumultuous seas of the Napoleonic Wars. We felt the tremors of his triumphs, from the glory of Austerlitz to the heartache of Waterloo. We've stepped into the biting cold of the Russian winter that marked the beginning of his downfall, and followed him to the shores of his final exile. Beyond the battlefield, we've glimpsed the man behind the legend. A man who, despite his towering stature in history, was of average height. A man who, in the midst of war and politics, found time to pen a romance novel. Indeed, Napoleon was a complex tapestry of contradictions, a testament to the multifaceted nature of humanity. His legacy is a saga of triumph and tragedy, a testament to the indomitable spirit of ambition, and a reminder of the fleeting nature of power. He was a man who, in his quest for glory, forever changed the world. His story is a mirror reflecting the essence of human endeavor, a tale that continues to captivate us centuries later. As we journeyed through the life of Napoleon Bonaparte, we've unearthed a rich seam of history, filled with lessons and insights that resonate even today. His story serves as a stark reminder of the power of ambition, the cost of hubris, and the enduring legacy of a life lived in full. If this epic journey through history captivated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps us create more content, and in turn, we can continue to bring the pages of history to life. So until our next adventure, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring the fascinating world of history. Until our next adventure.